Welcome to Antelope Valley News. We bring you the latest local events, stories, and community highlights right here in the AV.
Picket and protest signs flooded the valley this week. First, students in Quartz Hill staged a walkout, lining the streets with signs and chants to protest recent ICE enforcement actions and show support for immigrant families across the Antelope Valley. And in Lancaster, Kaiser healthcare workers hit the picket lines, saying the strike is not about politics, it's about patient safety. Nurses report chemotherapy clinics designed for 60 patients a day were recently handling as many as 70 to 80 without additionally trained staff. Some say they're now responsible for 10 to 11 chemo patients per shift, with limited time for full assessments. Workers claim expanded schedules, limited full-time hiring, and the use of undertrained replacements are putting cancer patients at risk. They say the walkout was the last resort to demand safer staffing levels and protect patient care. Meanwhile, in East Lancaster, Homeland Security investigation agents were on hand for a large-scale operation. We're told it's not immigration related, but officials have not released further details. Around 10 vehicles and more than a dozen agents were on scene. We will follow up and bring you updates as soon as we learn more. And finally, last Saturday in Mojave, the mood was much lighter as Rigs for Kids brought big smiles and even bigger trucks to local families, giving kids the chance to explore service vehicles up close and meet the people behind them. Stay with us as we dig into the environmental and financial toll illegal dumping is taking on families right here in the Antelope Valley.
Hey Antelope Valley, here's your weather forecast for the week ahead. We start mild and sunny as we transition into cooler and wetter stretch, and then close out the week with improving conditions. Let's break it down. Saturday is a standout day. We'll see sunshine with highs around 68 degrees and a low near 40. A few passing clouds at times, but overall a great day to be outside with no rain concerns. Monday is when conditions turn unsettled. Expect cooler temperatures with highs near 53 and a low around 38. It'll be cloudy and breezy with showers moving through the area, so plan for wet roads and allow that extra time for the commute. We wrap things up with Thursday, as Thursday brings improving weather with sunshine returning. Highs reach around 56 degrees with an overnight low near 37. Still cool but calmer and dry, making it the most comfortable day of the second half of the week. So enjoy the early sunshine, be prepared for rain and cooler temperatures beginning next week, and look forward to a brighter finish by Thursday. That is your Antelope Valley weather. Have a great week and stay safe.
Illegal dumping is a crime. Penalties can include fines up to $10,000, seizure of the vehicle used, and up to 6 months in jail. But here's the real question. If the penalties are that serious, why does it keep happening? Across stretches of the Antelope Valley, dump sites are multiplying. Construction debris, household trash, furniture, tires, entire truckloads tossed into the open desert. And here's what residents are telling us. When one pile sits untouched, more piles appear. It doesn't take long for one illegal act to become an established dumping ground. Criminologists call this the signal effect. When visible disorder goes unenforced, it communicates that enforcement is weak or even absent. And when illegal dumping isn't addressed quickly, it doesn't just invite more trash, it can invite more crime. Vacant areas already used for illegal dumping become sites for vandalism, theft, drug activity, and other unlawful behavior, because they've already been marked as places where no one is paying attention. That's not speculation, that's pattern recognition. The Antelope Valley spans a very large area, much of it unincorporated. Enforcement here is often complaint-driven. This raises a difficult but necessary question. Are we preventing or are we reacting? When resources are stretched thin, enforcement becomes selective, and selective enforcement can unintentionally create safe zones for illegal activity. Residents in Lake Los Angeles raised these concerns in December when members of the Rural Town Council brought representatives from the supervisors and senators' offices, along with law enforcement, into the affected areas. They didn't show them photos, they showed them the land, because seeing the scale firsthand changes the conversation. Protected desert land surrounds Saddleback Butte. These preserves exist to protect fragile ecosystems, native plants, and wildlife. But preservation cannot coexist with unchecked dumping. Trash does not stay where it's dropped. Wind spreads debris, chemicals seep into soil, wildlife becomes entangled or poisoned, and groundwater contamination becomes a long-term risk. And once the natural land is compromised, restoration costs far exceed those of prevention. Illegal dumping doesn't just damage land, it drains taxpayer dollars. Cleanup operations require manpower, equipment, hazardous waste handling, and transport, all publicly funded. Every dollar spent cleaning up illegal dumping is a dollar not spent on infrastructure, public safety, or community programs. So again, the question becomes, how do we enforce effectively when resources are already spread thin? This is not a new fight, as the Antelope Valley Illegal Dumping Task Force has been attempting to deal with this issue since 1996. Their next meeting is on April 1st, where they'll go over updates and talk strategy. But here's the truth. Enforcement alone is not enough. The problem grows faster than crews can clean it up. So a potential solution probably involves better reporting, quicker response, real visible consequences, and steady pressure from the community. When people actually see prosecutions happening, they start to change how they act. Otherwise, bad habits just continue. Now, if you witness illegal dumping, report it immediately. Call the Lancaster Sheriff Station at 661-948-8466 or dial 1-888-8-DUMPING. Any reporting generates a case number and the proper department is notified. But reporting isn't just about cleanup, it's about restoring the signal. It tells offenders someone is watching. Illegal dumping is more than discarded trash. It's a test. A test of enforcement, a test of community standards, a test of whether we tolerate visible disorder. Because when one site becomes 2, and 2 becomes 10, and 10 becomes normal, that's when the real damage begins. The Antelope Valley deserves preservation, not neglect. And the difference between the two may come down to how seriously we treat that first pile.
This is it for today's edition of Antelope Valley News. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Drop us a comment and let us know what you want to hear about next, because this is your community and your voice matters. I'm Beth Samuel, and this is Antelope Valley News. We'll see you next time.